Hi guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Giselle. I review fragrances, and if you're new here, welcome to my channel. I am truly super happy that you're here, and if you're one of my returning subscribers, thank you so much for your loyal support. Guys, today is all about boozy fragrances that are wine, champagne, rum, maybe liquor inspired, and I want to share them with you because this time of year is perfect for this type of scents. So if you're interested in learning more about them, stay tuned. So welcome back, and let's get into it. I'm gonna start my list with a gift. Yes, I received another gift from the amazing house of Hervé Laurent. They just developed a new formula. They actually reached out to me. They didn't ask me for a testimonial. They didn't ask me for a review. They just reached out to me. They told me that they would love to get my opinion about this new release. So I felt honored that a house reached out to me for that purpose. They were super duper professional, same as last time. They never requested any type of review, and I think the house is amazing. I believe in their products, and that's why I think they deserve to be discovered. And here I am with this amazing fragrance, which is Merlot. This fragrance, guys, is stunning. It is very fruity. Let me spray it. I wore this fragrance during the entire weekend. It's absolutely stunning. Super fizzy, super bubbly, very fruity, very juicy in the opening. You can definitely smell the grapes here. Not the grapes that you would eat, but the grape that is fermented in the best possible way, of course, to use in the wine industry. And it's absolutely gorgeous. Very fruity, as I said. Projection is literally a beast. When I tell you that someone on another room can smell this fragrance, I'm not kidding. Projection is amazing. I'm really surprised, to be honest, because this is extrait, this is pure perfume, and usually this type of scents have a higher oil concentration, and in these cases fragrances tend to be skin scents. They don't project that much, they don't have great sillage, but they stay many hours. This fragrance is actually quite the opposite. It doesn't last as much as I would love to, considering it is an extrait perfume, but they made it up because this projects like crazy. Sillage is absolutely out of this world. It's a head turner. I wore this last Saturday night, and everybody had to say something about my fragrance. I received tons of compliments. It smells super luxurious. It also belongs to the La Femme collection, so this is an ultra feminine, sexy, mature type of scent. Mature but not vintage. I just want to point that out because when you say mature, people think that it's like quote unquote your grandma scent. You know, I hate labels. I hate to talk about fragrances like that. I think that's a very disrespectful way to talk about grandmas and fragrances as well. So, but that's why I say quote unquote. When you say something is vintage or smells vintage, people tend to associate that type of smell with this type of things, right? And this is not that type of vintage fragrance. It is mature. It's for someone who knows what she wants, but it's not vintage in any way. This is a very inoffensive fragrance. It's not intrusive at all. Nobody will be offended by this fragrance. Conversely, people love it. It seems to be a crowd pleaser. Again, I would say this is a fragrance for special occasions, whatever that means to you. But for special occasions, I think this is more appropriate for formal events, or if you go, to a fancy restaurant. When I say formal, it doesn't need to be a red carpet type of event. But still, it's a more formal type of scent, yet very inoffensive, not intrusive at all. And after a couple hours, you will get less of the wine and you will get more of the fruits. I would say after 2 hours, it would smell more, or an hour and a half, it will smell more like a fruit punch than wine. This fragrance also reminds me a lot of Rosa by Liquid Imaginaire. They are pretty much in the same vibe. So if you like Rosa, 99% likely you will love Merlot. So yeah, guys, give it a try. It belongs to the La Femme collection. As I said, super feminine fragrance, nothing extravagant, just pure sophistication and class. This has been Merlot, the other way around, Merlot by Hervé Laurent. So the second one on my list, guys, is the new release by Killian, and it is Apple Brandy on the Rocks. I love this fragrance. Honestly, I prefer the original Apple Brandy, although I think this is more wearable. I think this is more feminine than the original. The original is more masculine and the original is more boozy. However, this is a very, very boozy type of scent. It's beautiful. It's very, very fruity, woody, sweet, spicy. You have a very strong green apple accord, especially in the opening. It's very, very crisp. I think it's perfect for this time of year. As I was saying, the green apple is the most prominent note, but it will tone down as the fragrance develops. Longevity is very decent, at least on my skin. It lasts around 4 hours. It has a very nice projection and a super beautiful sillage. Everybody notices this fragrance. After 4 hours, it becomes super duper close to the skin. However, people that come close to you would still be able to smell it. This is a very beautiful fragrance, no question, but I would say this is more on a superficial level. It's not a deep fragrance, it's not a full body type of scent. It's actually very transparent, very translucent, it's sheer, it's crisp, but still it's a very boozy fragrance. If you love boozy fragrances, this will definitely do the job with an extra touch of femininity, because the original one is stronger, and as I said, it's more masculine. I love feminine fragrances, but I have to tell you, the original to me is better. I think I shouldn't compare. My grandma used to say, if you want to be happy, do not analyze too much and don't compare. And yeah, that's a problem. Because if I compare this to the original, I would still prefer the original. Regardless, I love this. That's why I have included in this list, because I want you guys to try it if you have a chance. And you definitely need to like this type of scents. Boozy fragrances are not for everyone, and I think this is what I would call an entry-level boozy fragrance. It's a pretty linear perfume. It won't change during the entire time it remains on your skin. It's very versatile, way more versatile than the original. It's perfect for daytime, for nighttime, all year round, although I think it's perfect for this time of year. It's great for formal or informal events, so it's a pretty wearable and very versatile type of scent. So if you haven't yet, try Apple Brandy on the Rocks. Needless to say, it's not a safe blind buy. Moving on, guys, in third place we have Black Phantom. I'm here again with my travel cases. I'm obsessed with travel cases, and Black Phantom is so gorgeous. Here we are on another level, guys. This is completely different, way different. This is a way deeper, super boozy type of scent, similar to the original Apple Brandy, but it's even deeper, way deeper. It's very, very bold. It's a sweet, warm, spicy, nutty, very smooth and bold type of scent. Definitely unisex. It's a head turner. This is a heavy hitter, guys. Perfect for this time of year. Actually, I would say this is a fragrance that I usually pull off during the colder months, and the colder the night, the better. I say the night because to me this is a nighttime type of scent. Performance is 10 out of 10 in all the departments. Sillage, projection, the fragrance itself, it's so different, so different. You won't smell like anybody else wearing Black Phantom. It's certainly different, certainly not for everyone. This is also not a safe blind buy. I would say most of Killian fragrances are not safe blind buys unless you are very used to their fragrances and unless you know exactly what you want. But Killian is a house I would not recommend that you blind buy. As I was saying, performance is impressive. I get at least 8 hours out of this fragrance. Sillage and projection are out of this world, literally 10 out of 10. It's a massive compliment getter. It's certainly not for the faint of heart. This is for someone who likes to command attention, for someone who likes to receive compliments. Heavy hitter, head turner, 100% guaranteed. It has rum, it has coffee, it has vetiver, it has sandalwood, which gives this fragrance a lot of smoothness and creaminess. But I would say the most prominent notes here are coffee, definitely, and rum. I'm also picking a nutty note here, but officially there's no nutty note involved in this fragrance. In Fragrantica, they list almond as a note, but remember what I told you. If you haven't watched my previous videos where I explained this, in Fragrantica oftentimes what they list as notes are actually accords, is what people pick. In No Denial, they have expert noses behind, but one thing is a note and another thing is an accord. And sometimes you pick certain smells, like in this case, for example, that I picked almond, and maybe it doesn't even have almond in the composition. This is a super duper sexy type of scent for a mature person. It's unisex, completely unisex. I think it leans more on the masculine side, but on women it pulls super duper sexy. Of course, it depends on each person's chemistry. I love it. This is a fragrance I would definitely repurchase. Everybody loves it as well, although it's very bold. Everybody seems to like it. It's not intrusive. It all depends how much you spray. Usually I am an oversprayer, but I like to be mindful in depending on where I'm going or what people I'm seeing. I adjust my spraying level. It also has vetiver. You will get more of the vetiver and the sandalwood in the dry down, definitely. And in the dry down, you will smell more of those gourmand accords. Honestly, I don't know what is it. I pick here a nutty note, and I also pick some praline maybe. But again, it's not listed as a note. And the creaminess maybe it's just because of the sandalwood, but it could be praline as well. Woody. This fragrance to me is also woody, and since this belongs to the Cellars line, as they call it, it doesn't surprise me, right? Because Cellars tend to be made out of wood. It's a very, very luxurious scent, very sexy and very extravagant, and I think it's very unique in its own right. Yeah, and you should definitely try it. This is a travel case, Black Phantom by Killian. So moving on, guys, the next one is Dom Rosa by Liquid Imaginaire. It belongs to a trilogy, and this is hands down my favorite of those three. Actually, this is my favorite of their entire line. But I've talked about this fragrance before. Usually I don't like to recycle fragrances, but I just talked about this one in one video, and it is so beautiful and so appropriate to this video that I had to include it. So actually, Dom Rosa, it has rose in the composition. It's also very prominent. But believe it or not, this is not your typical rose scent. It's a completely different take. In fact, this has been inspired by Dom Perignon Rosé, and that's where the name comes from. And it's an amazing fragrance, super duper juicy. It's so stunning, guys. It's very fizzy, very bubbly, very, very fruity, very juicy, as I said, because it has pear. Pear is very, very prominent, especially in the opening. And guys, I'm gonna stick to what I said in my previous video. This fragrance smells to me like a rose soaked in a very expensive rosé wine or champagne. In fact, champagne and pear are the most prominent notes, at least in the opening. You can even smell those notes just right off the bottle. It also has rose. Let me spray some because this is so gorgeous. It has rose, actually Damasceno rose or damask rose. Super boozy as well, very, very feminine. It has incense, which is also prominent. It has vetiver. You can't pick the vetiver in the opening, but you will get more of it in the dry down. It's incensey, as I said. It also has cedar, which to me is the most elegant woody note you can find in perfumery. I love sandalwood, but when it comes to elegance, to me, nothing beats cedar. And this is what this fragrance has. It's very elegant, very unique. It smells like nothing in the market. The only fragrance I found that smells similar is Merlot by Hervé Laurent. They are not similar like on a dupe level or anything like that, but it's definitely close enough and it has similar vibes. It lasts, Dom Rosa lasts at least 6 hours on my skin, and that's not even overspraying. It has great sillage, great projection in the first hour and a half. Then it becomes a skin scent. It stays close to the skin, but everybody who approaches you will love it. It's a crowd pleaser. Everybody asks me what I am wearing. It's a stunning, stunning fragrance. Smells super, super expensive. Smells very expensive, really. Very luxurious, very unique, very sophisticated. It's super classy, signature scent worthy. It's a type of scent you will never get bored. It's a fragrance that you can wear for formal, for informal events, day, night. Me personally, to me, this is a fragrance that I keep for special occasions, as I said in my previous video when I reviewed this fragrance. And this is a fragrance I like to wear during the night, especially in this time of year. But being this fruity and this juicy, I can tell you without a shadow of a doubt that this performs really, really well during the summer. So if you are entering summer right now, or if you live in a tropical place, try this fragrance because you won't be disappointed. In fact, I think in the summer you will get more of the juices, while in the colder weather you will get more of the champagne or the wine accords. To me, this is a totally ageless fragrance, although this is not a teenager type of scent. However, I think anybody can pull this off, and it's gorgeous. I highly recommend that you try this. Not if you're looking for a rose fragrance, because although it has rose, as I said, this is not your typical rose scent. But if you love boozy fragrances, juicy fragrances, go for it because it's stunning. Dame Rosa by Liquid Imaginaire. So guys, the next one is a fragrance I don't have a full bottle yet, and it is Rosé All Day by Gallagher. I don't know why, but I haven't decided yet. I went through many decants and many samples. This is actually my last one, and so far I think I haven't loved this fragrance enough to pull the trigger and buy a full bottle. I am a very impulsive person, but when it comes to fragrances, I try to be super mindful, super intentional. As I told you many times, I don't buy fragrances just for the sake of YouTube. I buy fragrances just for myself. I've been in this game for many years, and I really have to love the fragrance in order for me to buy a full bottle. Unfortunately, it didn't happen with Rosé All Day. However, well, at least yet. However, I think it's a great fragrance. It deserves a place on this list. It has a performance that many fragrances would be jealous of. It is, wow. It's very sticky. I think it has a lot of honey. I can pick a lot of honey here. Very sticky, syrupy, thick, dense. One thing that turns me off, honestly, I think is that it's not fizzy and it's not bubbly, and that's what I expect from a boozy fragrance. This is very sweet, very sticky, as I said, but to me it definitely smells like rosé, no doubt, but it lacks the fizziness and the bubbles I love I expect in a champagne or even rosé inspired type of scent. It doesn't have it. Instead, it's very sticky, it's very syrupy. Now, it has an amazing performance. It lasts at least 10 hours on my skin. This is one of those beast mode fragrances, again, at least on my skin. This is a fragrance that I think would be amazing to layer with woody fragrances. It can combine amazingly well with sandalwood, with cedar, for example, also with guaiac wood, and let alone oud. I think that maybe if one day I buy this, I will buy it for layering purposes, not to wear it on its own, but still, it's a great fragrance. It's very popular. People seem to love it. Unfortunately, it's not my cup of tea. I'm not 100% at it yet. I will keep buying samples probably until I decide it's time to say bye Felicia, or just go pull the trigger and buy a full bottle. It didn't happen yet, and I think it won't happen, unfortunately. But yeah, I still wanted to include it here because it's a great fragrance, and I want you to try it if you like boozy fragrances, because this is very boozy, but remember, super sweet and super syrupy and sticky. Rosé All Day by Gallagher. Moving on, guys, I have here Gin Fizz. I love Gin Fizz. It's a stunning fragrance. This has been launched in 2009. The original was launched in 1955 and was inspired by the cocktail Gin Fizz that was famous. It was super popular in the American bars in Paris, and it was also Grace Kelly's favorite drink. At that time, Grace Kelly was filming a movie in Paris, and the House of Louvain decided to create this fragrance to celebrate her Oscar, because she won an Oscar for that movie. And it is stunning. This fragrance is class in a bottle. It's citrusy and it's very fizzy, very effervescent, bubbly, invigorating, super energizing, and I think it is a masterpiece in its own right, because usually you don't see citrusy fragrances at this level, and I think considering its category, it's like 10-20 notches above any other fragrance in that group. This fragrance has aldehydes, but not the aldehydes we find in Chanel. I explained this in another video. Sometimes aldehydes give fragrances vintage type of vibes or smell, while in other cases, like in this one, aldehydes can be very bubbly and very fizzy, and I think they nail it here. There's tons of aldehydes here, but the fizzy and effervescent type. This is actually a very modern, a very contemporary type of scent. Do not think the aldehydes here are the type of aldehydes you find in Chanel fragrances, for example. This is more similar to the aldehydes you might find in Byredo fragrances, if it makes sense. It's very, very citrusy, super aromatic, very invigorating, energizing. As I said, perfect for summer days. And this is one of the few Boozy fragrances that I would wear in the summer with no issues at all. It's very classy, very chic, very elevated. I have all positive things to say about this fragrance. Perfect for the summer, but also great during the winter, because in winter it becomes super duper crispy, while in summer it becomes more fizzy and more energizing, I would say. It has lemon, which is very prominent, vetiver, oak moss, which gives this fragrance that type of dewiness. It's a very, very dewy type of scent. It has musk and it has lily flower that gives this fragrance also dewiness. So guys, this is Jeune Fils by the House of Luban. So the next one on my list is Intoxicated by Killian. I mean, we are talking about Boozy fragrances, right? Nobody does Boozy fragrances like Killian. Period. So I had to include quite a few Killian fragrances here, otherwise it wouldn't make sense. Let me tell you, Intoxicated is one of the most intoxicating fragrances, if not the most, that I have in my collection. It's super duper unique. It also belongs to the Cellars collection, so you can expect wood here as well. According to Killian, this fragrance has been inspired by a smooth and dark Turkish coffee. If you ever tried Turkish coffee, I love coffee in general, and I especially love Turkish coffee. Usually it has lots of cardamom, it's very thick, it's very foamy on the top, it's really delicious. And this is the inspiration for this stunning, gorgeous, out of this world Boozy fragrance. Similar to Black Phantom, this is 100% unisex. It also leans a little bit more masculine. And let me tell you guys, when I wear this, and sometimes what I do is I layer both. I layer Black Phantom with Intoxicated. Sometimes I put Intoxicated first, sometimes I put Black Phantom first, but the combo, guys, it's out of this world, because those are very extremely unique fragrances. So when you combine those fragrances is when the magic happens. It's out of this world, literally. This fragrance is spicy to me. It definitely has spices. You can definitely smell them. So you have to like spices in order to like this fragrance, to enjoy this fragrance. You might like it, but you might not enjoy it at its fullest. So you definitely need to enjoy spices. It's strong in cinnamon. I would say it's very prominent. Nutmeg, cardamom, vanilla as well. Vanilla here, it's more on a supporting role, I would say. It gives a tad bit of a gourmand accord, I would say. It's not that prominent, but coffee and cardamom to me are the most prominent. Now, the coffee here, to me, doesn't smell like raw coffee beans. To me, this smells more like Nespresso capsules. That to me, I love coffee. I truly adore coffee, but Nespresso to me, I like Nespresso as well, but to me, it's more like a dessert type of coffee. It's slightly more caramelized than pure coffee beans. And this is the type of coffee it reminds me of. Honestly, it doesn't truly remind me of Turkish coffee, but I get where the inspo come from, because Turkish coffee is sweet. Well, you can drink it without sugar, but please, Middle Eastern friends, if you're watching here, comment below. But I think it is my understanding that without the sugar, you won't get that beautiful cream on top. I'm not quite sure, but every time I tried Turkish coffee, it was sweet. Truly sweet, and the cardamom was very present. So this, as I said, this was the inspo for this fragrance, although this to me smells more like caramelized coffee than Turkish coffee, but it's delicious regardless. It's absolutely stunning. If you want to smell different, if you need a heavy hitter in your collection, you need to try Intoxicated. If you ask me, Black Phantom or Intoxicated, I love both equally, but if you will, I would say Intoxicated is slightly less masculine than Black Phantom. Absolutely gorgeous fragrance. I think the new one comes in silver. I have had this for quite some time. In most of my fragrances, as you can see, have the old packaging. I always have the old packaging. I'm sorry, but I've had fragrances in my collection for years, And yeah, I'm always showing you guys all packaging, so sorry. But yeah, I think this is the older one, but regardless, it's beautiful. I love black and gold and white and gold. And yeah, it's stunning. The fragrance is as stunning as the bottle. Intoxicated by Killian. So guys, now I have an honorable mention, and I also have a super affordable option for you. My honorable mention is to Angel's Share. Actually, it deserves a place in this list. The thing is, I have talked about Angel's Share too much in many videos because it's a fragrance I love, and I don't like to recycle fragrances all the time because I feel I'm not bringing you guys any value. So I don't want you to see the same things over and over again. That's why I haven't included Angel's Share here, but it 100% deserves a place here because it's super boozy. I think it's the king or queen of the boozy fragrances. I adore that fragrance, and I will always have it in my collection for as long as they make it. But again, I didn't want to repeat fragrances. I recently talked about this. I recently talked about Dame Rosa, but only reviewed Dame Rosa once. However, I talk about Angel's Share many times. I even dedicated an entire video to this fragrance, which I will link it here in case you want to go and check it out. Yeah, but Angel's Share definitely belongs here. And last for today, guys, I promise you a super duper affordable option. Don't expect from that more than what it is. But this one is Champagne Toast by the Bath & Body Works. If you live here in the US, it's very easy to get. I think it's seasonal, probably it is. And it's beautiful, truly beautiful. It reminds me a lot of the vibes of Dame Rosa or Merlot by Yves Laurent. Of course, this is a mist. It's from the Bath & Body Works. Please take into account everything. But if you don't have expectations above of what it is, you will truly love this fragrance. It smells truly like champagne. It doesn't smell expensive at all. It doesn't. I like that bubbly, fizzy, semi-sweet type of scent. Also invigorating and energizing without being herbal, for example, or citrusy. This is for you because usually energizing and invigorating scents are herbal or citrusy. And in this case, it's not. You have those vibes. It's very energizing and everything, but it's not herbal at all. In fact, it truly smells like champagne. And again, if your expectations are aligned with the product and you're not expecting more than what it is, I think you will like it. I paid, I think, $18.50, and it really lasts. I can't tell you exactly because I bought it recently. I bought it over the weekend, but I have worn it a couple of times. I love it for what it is. After a shower, you know, before going to bed. And it's really nice, very refreshing, very invigorating, and you will get those amazing champagne fizziness and bubble that we all love. And this is Champagne Toast by the Bath & Body Works. I wanted to give you this super affordable option because it's truly beautiful. I like it. For what it is, I like it. And yeah, guys, this has been all for today. I hope you enjoyed my video about boozy fragrances, and let me know in the comments below, do you like boozy fragrances? If that's the case, what is your favorite one? Please. So if you enjoyed today's video, I would highly appreciate if you give me a thumbs up, if you consider subscribing in case you haven't, and please stay safe, and I'll see you next Saturday. Bye-bye.